I'm always very thankful to God for everything, and to my wife, my children, and all my family. I'm also very thankful to São Paulo, because they've always been very supportive ever since I came back to the club. And during all this time, it's taken me to restart my career since I came back from Germany. So I'm very thankful to São Paulo for that.
It all started so promisingly for Breno Borges. He was one of the standout youngsters of his Brazilian generation, attracting attention from the national team and from Europe.
I was very young. I just finished playing the Copa São Paulo, and I turned professional. Those were great days. I was considered the best right-sided defender in the Brazilian league, the best newcomer in Brazil, so it's impossible to forget.
Soon, Breno landed his dream move. Bayern Munich paid 12 million euros to bring him to the Bundesliga. He began well, but after a loan move to FC Nuremberg, he was sidelined with a cruciate ligament injury.
It was tough not being able to play. I couldn't play because of my knee. Whenever I played, it would get swollen. It's hard to be in recovery all day long watching the matches on TV. You feel more anxious than if you were on the pitch, because you want to play, you want to help the team.
On the sidelines, thousands of miles from home, injury was tough for Breno to cope with.
That day, I got news from the club that I had to have an operation the following day. Then, Rafinha invited me to go for lunch. We all went to a restaurant, and I had a beer. Then, I went home and carried on drinking, and that's when I realized, when the accident happened, that I wasn't myself anymore. I didn't know what was going on anymore.
Breno suffered a mental collapse and managed to burn down his rented villa. He was convicted of aggravated arson and sentenced to 3 years and 9 months in jail. Bayern Munich helped, taking him out of prison on day release, whilst custody provided a crucial time for reflection.
I know everything that's happened in my life. I know I've made mistakes. I've paid for them, and that's why I spent all that time in prison in Germany. So I'm fine with it. I try to focus on the good things I learned in that period. So I've got no problems talking about the subject.
By this time, his homeland was calling, Brazil and São Paulo.
São Paulo had already contacted me when I was with Bayern and wasn't playing much. São Paulo were already interested in having me back. So when the accident happened, Bayern came to talk to me through my wife, and I really wanted to make the move, because I knew that when I left jail, I would have a club to come back to. And it couldn't have been better than São Paulo, because it was where I grew up, where I made my name. And this became my motivation day after day in prison, because I knew that one day I'd leave that place, and I'd be able to go back to doing what I'd always done, and what I'd always loved doing, which is to play football.
Breno has had some major challenges to contend with, but they've strengthened his desire to make the most of his talent. His rehabilitation at São Paulo has seen him confront the issue in his life that was destroying his career.
I've matured a lot. I've totally stopped drinking alcohol. To live without alcohol and to be happy without alcohol has been very good for my life.
His has been an eventful career so far. Now Breno's objective is to reward those who've helped him through the darkest times.
I always say it, not just me, my wife as well, that we're very grateful to São Paulo, because the club was always there in the difficult moments. So I can say that I'm very grateful to São Paulo, and so's my wife. We can only thank them, but now I have to do it on the pitch. That's where I have to show my gratitude.